On today's episode, we're going to be repairing this. It's a large, horrible looking dent on a Seat Leon front wing. So stay tuned and enjoy the repair, and I'll show you the steps I took to transform the wing from this to this. Hi, I'm Martin Sadler from Dent-Remover, and thanks very much for joining me on another PDR video. This time we have a Seat Leon Cooper in. It's got a large unsightly dent on the front wing. Our customer lived out of town over an hour away, so we had to speak over the phone, and he kindly sent us some images. From there we could confirm the repairability of the damage. So let's take a look at the damage a bit more closely. Okay, we've pulled the car into the workshop, put it on a ramp, and we're giving the wing a good clean up so we can see what we're doing. We've turned on the workshop lighting, and we're also going to take a look with the inspection board. And not only does it highlight the main dent, it also highlights other areas of distortion, something you just can't see from a picture alone. Okay, I'll talk you through the main areas of this damage. We'll come back to this dotted line in a second. I'll start by outlining the main dent, and it's very difficult to see the depth of this from this angle. Jumping back to the dotted line, we have 3 ripples, often called crowns. These will need to be tapped down to relieve the pressure of the main dent. Looking in the middle of this main dent, we have the centre of the damage, and this is also really distorted, the factory body line. We'll come back to this part in a second. And speaking of body lines, this vehicle has really prominent lines. If these are damaged, it's really hard to repair them. As we look to the edge of the panel, we can see that this gap's opened up from the main dent. Once we've repaired it, this gap will close back up again. And lastly, we've got damage lower down. Because of the depth of the dent, it's kicked out the bottom part of the wing and also buckled the body line. So that's the dent explained. Now we have to remove some trims to get access to the rear of the panel. To get behind the dent, we need to take the arch liner out. Doesn't take long to do, and we just need to unscrew a few of these T25 Torx screws. With this arch liner out of the way, I can get my tools all over the rear side of this panel. Okay, so that's the arch liner out of the way, and we can see there's no obstructions from inside, and we can also see the dent. Time to get our tools out and repair this damage. Moving forward with the repair, I'm going to set my light board up so I can see the damage, get the heat gun on there, warm the panel up, and start by carefully pushing the dents out with my hand. Okay, so that looked pretty easy, and the reason why I used my hand to push the dents out instead of using the tool is because I wanted to limit the amount of unnecessary spring in the panel when it popped out and reduce the chances of a paint cracking in the bodyline area. I knew it would pop to a certain degree, and also if I'd used a tip on the end of my bar, I'd have probably marked the metal surface. So let's go and take a look at what happened once it popped out. Okay, the bodyline has come out really well, but we still need to pull out the damage above and below it. But we'll come back to this part in a second. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to tap these 3 creased areas down, or these crowns. These hold quite a lot of the pressure on the panel. Once these are out of the way, we can get back into the main dent. Because we pushed the main dent out, these creased areas are quite easy to knock down. Next up, we're repairing the bodyline area. For this, I'm using a moose knuckle to lever off, an ultra dent tools, screw tip bar, and a rubber tip. What I'm doing is lifting the area around the bodyline up, starting from below the bodyline and relieving the pressure around it with the blending hammer. Before I tackle the top part of the dent above the bodyline with the bars, I'm going to use a glue system. This will help me pull the majority of the dent out using the sliding hammer, then I can go back in there with the bars and finish it off. Just using a bit of panel wipe there just to unstick the tab. Okay, I'm just going to unmount the heat gun, get it out of the way. I can always use it manually if I need to. There's a lot of blending in this area, We're nearly there now, we just need to do a few more pushes from behind, but it's looking really good.
Okay, that's the panel levelled up. What I need to do now is swap my blunt rubber tip on the end of my bar to a sharper, more accurate one. This is so I can lift up all the shallow ripples, and for the higher areas I'll be using my hammer and tap down. We can blend the panel back into its former shape.
And to do that, we need to change tips on the bar, gone from the rubber tip to a plastic bullet tip. And this will help me lift up areas with a lot more precision, without the risk of over pushing or even cracking the paintwork. Cross-checking is key on repairs like this. The area that I'm repairing at the moment is a convex shape, paying particular attention to this area. You may have just noticed I've gone back onto the rubber tip, and this is because I'm taking a few small ripples out from below this body line. Repairing damage on lighter coloured vehicles is always hard to do because you can't really see the damage. On darker vehicles it's real clear and you can see everything. This is why I'm cross-checking all the time, using my inspection board, light board, natural reflection. I'm on the final stage of the repair now, and I've swapped my plastic bullet tip for a really sharp needle-like tip. All I'm doing now is picking out the last of the imperfections. And finally, I'm straightening out the panel edge with a J-bar and a hammer shaft. I found these two tools are great for these areas. Okay, the repair looks great. I'm going to stick the arch liner back in, get it off the ramp and get it outside. And so all that tapping and pushing, this is how the repair looks now. We're looking at it with the fog board. We've just hand polished the area up, so it does need a proper polish.
Just before we take a look at the car outside, I'd just like to say a big thank you for watching my video so far, and if you do like them, give it a thumbs up and you're welcome to leave a comment below. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, because it really helps my channel grow. We have new videos coming out all the time, and if you don't want to miss one, tick the notification bell as well. So let's jump back in, and I hope you enjoy the finished results.